Agenda. Adoption, all those in favor? Motion is carried. Delegations, minutes, or departmental reports. A few staff reports. First of all, page 5, the report from Director of Finance regarding commodity tax review and the recommendation to kind of accept that those working agreement authorize fair tax to perform that review for the compliance. With that, seconded. Discussion, questions, comments? Councilor Bryce, welcome back.
Thank you. I just had a quick question. How much did we get that last time? Did you get back anything for?
Nothing significant. They had us file an election on the rec center and attempted to claim some of the some significant construction costs from a decade before. But it turned out we'd already claimed input tax credit on it. So the election really yielded nothing.
Okay. Well, it says we did a good job.
Go ahead, Tom.
It doesn't cost us staff time or anything, does it?
A little bit of staff time, but now that we're kind of in a highly computerized environment, we can download a general ledger into an Excel, a giant Excel spreadsheet, send it to them, and in about 10 minutes, we've done most of what we need to do.
Okay.
Any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion is carried. Page 7, we have the audit service plan from Myers Norris Penny, brought to us by Director of Finance, and motion is to receive that. Move receive. Receive none, all those in favor? Motion carried. Any questions or comments? Relatively self-explanatory. Okay, thank you, Director of Finance, for bringing that forward. At page 35, we have a report back from staff on the Bay Lake property and a recommendation from staff. Motion to receive the report first. Move receive.
Second.
Receive that, all in favor? Motion carried. And discussion.
I'll move the recommendation.
Okay,
I think we should give them the opportunity to see what they can do, and if they're successful, it's good for the town.
On the recommendation, is there a second? Any further discussion? Sorry, Sean, you want to carry on?
But no, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Did we talk to Nature Trust, the partners in the purchase? Are they?
I did review the file and couldn't find anything specific that provided any limitations as to their donation and what we could or couldn't do on the property
Okay, so you're confident that it has no objection?
at this stage.
I don't have any problem with saying it, but I'm just wondering about the liability of moving the house down, standing for another year. I know it's already had some windows broken.
Well, we have a regular security patrol engaged now to check into the structure. We also do work with the neighbors to respond to any issues that they may raise. But that is a certain risk that's taken. But at this stage, there's no funds in any budget to do anything other than remove it, which I don't think is going to be too popular at this stage.
Right, so it's something to keep an eye on as we do with our other town-owned properties.
Yeah.
Council Fletcher?
My question is very much the same as the director expressed. Could it be something as simple as perhaps putting a gate at the top of the garage so no one can drive down to the property? I've been told that some kids are driving down and parties are happening. Maybe something that simple, just to somehow minimize the impact on them.
I'll talk to staff about what the options are. Maybe a no post or something along the lines that would still allow pedestrian and other traffic through.
Any suggestions? Any further? Seeing none, on the recommendation, all those in favor? Opposed, motion is carried. Okay, it's, no correspondence received, page 37, staff had brought to us the strategic plan, which has been updated to reflect things that have occurred in the past year. And so it's an opportunity to review those and also any further comments. I know that the work on the trail mapping and folks in the Northeast Woods is actually nearing completion. There's a little bit more work that has to be done, but it's certainly an improvement in those. I did mention CEO something about the grants that we received for the military road.
Yes, Your Worship, under page 41 of this, we've got the action of exploring grants and alternate sources of funding for projects. One of the big ones I missed is the $800,000 contribution from DMD and 19 co-ops for the military road bike lane.
Councillor Fletcher.
Just on the same vein, on page 43, where we talk about encourage and prepare for infill, our work on coach houses, I was wondering if we include that there, or where it could be included, or had I missed?
No, that's, I'm sure it should be referenced. All right, any further on this draft plan? Yes, Councillor Smith.
I was just wondering, I know some of these grants are being reapplied for Marina and so on. Do you have any idea of the timeline for those?
CEO.
The ICE-T deadline is, I believe, the 24th of January for the next intake. There was some question about whether that meeting would take place in January or a month later, but that was the date I was given.
And so the intake's January,
The last time this happened, it was less than a month we were back.
Yes, I think the next meeting of the regional advisory committee we're going to go to February, and then the board is every 2 months. Sorry, Ken.
We've got it in there to develop a plan for the Marina Boardwalk community space. And, if you look in there, it says prepare a conceptual plan for new community and commercial space to be done in 2012, 2013. Well, 2013 is almost gone, and somehow we have to move that. I think that was a pretty strong priority of this entire council, and we've heard a lot from the community about what that'll do for downtown revitalization and everything else. So I would like to put strong emphasis on that, starting now.
Starting in 2012.
Yeah.
It is part of the action plan for this resubmission for the grant. They're looking for a little more detail, and so that's part of bringing in some of the stakeholders, including the BIA and some of the participants on the waterfront to look at some initial concepts that we could get in for the first phase of the ST program, and then upon the successful acknowledgement that we're in for phase 2, we go into the detailed design.
However, had we followed this plan more closely and prepared the conceptual plan in 2012, 2013, we probably wouldn't have been shunned or whatever you want to call it.
Perhaps
first go around in October. So,
Perhaps not.
I would like to see, and I'd be prepared to sit on a committee of council working with staff on this if that would help. So, it's.
I know staff have engaged a consultant the initial application, and I understand that work will continue. And we recently had a meeting with Harbor Authority, as mentioned last week, about some of their work with the Forest Corps as well, and the possibility of better floating service and that might tie into some of the things. So, lots of irons in the fire. Councillor Bryce, and Grant again.
Yes, and on the same topic, and I guess it's all subject to grant money, but I have been asked by one or two people if there are any plans out there and when the public process is going to unfold. So is the public process going to feed into the plans? Is that what you're looking at?
Yes, it will. That public process more than likely will occur in the phase 2 design of the project, so not necessarily through phase 1 of the ICE-T grant, but in phase 2, we're getting into the hard and fast work as to what it may look like.
Yes, it's hard for people to visualize
Yeah.
as to whether it's something they want to see done out.
Do we have budget allowance for this?
We do have
Of our own funds?
approximately $25,000 for design.
Okay. So Councilor Gill.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I just wanted to just recognize the fact that we're working on our downtown vitalization plan with CBEDS and a few other organizations. And that I'm hoping that is going to continue because that was a very strong mandate from the public at the last election. And I've been speaking with Al regarding some of our walking things, and I noticed that we've done some good work on that. But there's more to be done, and so we're continuing to do that. My question for staff is, I just want to make sure that the plan is actually workable and it's manageable. Like, it's great to put a great big plan together, but if there's too much on it, or if there's not enough on there to keep you busy, we can always do that. But you know, there's no point in having way too much stuff on there if you can't.
What are you talking about, the plan, the strat plan overall?
Just the plan overall, yeah. You know, and hoping that we'll continue on with those other pieces that I mentioned.
I think you'll notice that there's a lot has been accomplished in this plan since it was first developed and council first began their mandate. We still have some work to do, and as Councilor Tom Grant pointed out, there's been a bit of slippage in some areas. So I think it's still manageable what we have right now. But it's still challenging, and we get a big year ahead of us for next year.
So is our prioritizing, like I guess every time I see these plans, I always wonder how the priorities work, and I know we do the immediate, the short term, the long term, and the ongoing. But I mean, I could see if I was staff that I would do all the easy stuff, right, and get it done. How is it that you guys prioritize what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, I guess?
It depends on some of the items in terms of some of the items that are laid out in the OCP and the implementation of that. There was a kind of an orderly manner that things rolled out, and as time permits in between processing applications, and as Marvin has access to, say, a summer student to provide some additional assistance, you know, there were some additional items that we could accomplish at that time. We do bundle some of those together, and we know we have the resources available to provide that.
Yeah, I think it's worth re-emphasizing as well that these strategic priorities there has been a fair amount accomplished, everything obviously to this point. But that's in addition to, complementary to, of course, all the core services that have to go on with it. So certainly try to move forward as we go, and particularly the brochure and the downtown revite. I think those are things that are going to take a number of months and years to come to full fruition, of course. And as we carry on, we'll
Certainly fall into that ongoing category.
they will for sure. So yeah, and I know that the BIA will be a big part of that.
We have a new board at the BIA too that's much larger than it was, so we had quite a good turnout last night to our AGM. So and we've got some expertise from the marina now, and some of the business communities got on the board as well. So I think they can become a much more active advocate for what we're doing on some of this stuff, and we can certainly have a bigger voice. So.
Any further? Seeing none, then we'll carry on. I think the next item was put on the agenda at the request of Councilor McKinnon. So do you have some more information for us?
Just an update on the Ray Crossley Awards. Last year, of course, they were initiated and endorsed by council to recognize youth in our community, and the intent was to make our community aware and proud of youth achievements. I'm pleased to say our committee has received some nominations for this year. And my question to council is twofold. Is one, we have a few dates left before the Christmas break. And the thought last year was to recognize these youth perhaps just prior to Christmas, when many of them come home for Christmas with their families. We were sort of successful with that last year. Some ended up being parents or whatnot receiving the awards. So my thought is up to you as to an appropriate date to recognize these youth. And the other thought is to, it was mentioned in our discussions in committee that greater recognition in the Comox newsletter, the town newsletter, going to our citizens and our taxpayers, that they be aware. Because the intent is for our community to be not only aware, but to be proud of some of these accomplishments. And I think as we grow each year, we'll probably do a better job in promoting this to the community. And that was one of the suggestions that came up. So the dates I see is that we have a tentative, we have our council meeting scheduled for December 4th and December 11th, and possibly December 18th.
That one may be canceled, depending on whether we have agenda items the 18th. The other two will be.
So I'd like some direction as to what you think would be the most appropriate time to
I
present
guess
this.
it will depend entirely on the recipients and their schedules as well. Because even at the 18th, there may be people still at university doing the plans, so you may never get it. You don't necessarily have to do it at a council meeting, but I just think that would make sense to try to do so. It's our first meeting in January, probably into the second week of January. So, and that's the challenge you're up against. And I don't know the recipients, so you'll be the one that'll have to decide. Given that the 18th meeting may be canceled,
Our suggestion is the later is the better. You know,
we should do it at committee of the whole on the 11th.
Okay, so we'll aim for that now, and if there's an 18th meeting, maybe even better.
Yeah, as I say, at this point, the 18th meeting is on the potential for cancellation.
You may not know the 18th, meeting's going to be canceled, so fairly close to it, isn't it?
We will be deciding that next week.
So we'll know for certain next week. And any other feedback, suggestions I can bring back to the committee?
Well, and the other thing, first off, before it is with staff on this one.
That's all I have to report then.
All right, thanks. All right, anything further on that? Nothing further other than we do have a briefing camera meeting, so motions to the public and reception. Chair.
So moved. Second.
In favor? Okay.